Texas Math Mundo audience, are we in store for a treat today? In the house is Mr. Russell Gully, three-time UIL Texas number 7 state champion in the early 70s. 1971, 1972, 1973 from Wall High School, a proud Hawk. Mr. Russell Gully, three-time number 7 state champion in the house. Let me take a quick moment and ask that if you enjoy this content, could you please hit the subscription button and the notification bell, that you leave a comment below, and that you smash that like button. Help me spread this joy, help me spread this beauty. Mr. Russell Gully, three-time state champion, right ahead. My name is Logan, and this is Texas Math Mundo. Texas Math Mundo audience, are we in store for a treat today? In the house is Mr. Russell Gully, three-time number 7 state champion in the early 70s, 1971, 1972, and 1973, Texas UIL number 7 champion from Wall High School, a proud Hawks. He's also a graduate of the University of Texas School of Law. He's a consulting counsel at Holland and Knight LLP, partner at Thompson and Knight LLP from 1984 to 2021, over 37 years. It is my great pleasure to welcome Mr. Russell Gully. Hey, thank you for joining us.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
Awesome. We're going to have a great time talking about the old UIL days. But first, let's start off by asking, how are you doing? What's keeping you busy nowadays?
All right, I'm mostly retired now from the practice of law. I'm winding down my career going on since 1984 as an attorney. My home is DeSoto, Texas. That's just south of Dallas. And what I do in my spare time, I right now fussing with my landscaping. I kind of take pride in making the yard look good, and also I get to devote more time now to following my Texas Longhorn. That's my college alma mater, and I'm a big time sports fan for the University of Texas. Been doing a lot of overseeing lately of home improvement projects. You got time to kind of get some things fixed up around the house. There's no end to that. That's a lot of what I'm doing. Have a fitness routine, follow political news, and there's a men's church group that I'm very active in. So that fills most of my time now that I'm pretty much retired.
Great stuff. Great. You're a Texan through and through.
Absolutely.
All right. Hey, so where were you born? Where are you from, born and raised, and your cultural heritage?
Okay, I was raised on a farm in Wall, Texas. That's outside of San Angelo, out in, they call it West Texas, West Central Texas. I was born in San Angelo. I attended Wall School for all 12 years. There was no kindergarten back in the day. And then I had several classmates that we all went to school together for 12 years. And I graduated in 1973 in a class of 30.
Wow, a class of 30. That's really rural.
Yes, it is.
When did you realize that you had a talent for mathematics?
I was pretty good in math as far back in school as I can remember today. My first number sense contest, though, was I think 8th grade. I entered that contest totally unprepared and did not do well. That's the first time I ever did anything with number sense. So, for all I know, I may have had a negative score in that test. I don't know. But it was not a good start.
And a few short years later, you'd be state champion.
Well, my freshman year, I started preparing for number sense contest. Well, I spent a few weeks at least preparing. And I did well enough in my freshman year to get to the regional meet, not beyond that. In my sophomore year, though, that's when I really started to bear down. And I spent months of the school year preparing for the number sense contest. And I worked solo. I was self-taught on number sense.
Really?
I did not have a coach. I had math teachers in class, but I was entirely self-taught on number sense.
Really?
I worked at sample the old exams, and kind of learned as I went, and did that over and over again.
Wow! So you're a solo. You were working solo.
Yes, I worked solo.
That's amazing. Did you have any inspirations? Were there anybody out there inspiring you?
Well, my high school math teacher was extraordinarily good, Mr. Van Orden. He had a long career previously teaching math at San Angelo Central, which is nearby, and he retired from San Angelo Central and switched over to Wall High School. He was there for the duration of my high school years, and he was exceptional. So he got me pointed in the right direction and inspired my interest in math.
Oh, wow. So I do want to talk about the early 70s and Wall High School. What was Wall High School like in the early 1970s? What do you remember from those years?
Well, it still is. It's a rural school, and certainly in the 1970s, I would say it had limited resources. In my sophomore and junior year, we were Class B. And in my senior year, we were Class A. Now, those classification designations have changed over the years, so they're not what they were then, but that's what they were at the time. I was never myself any kind of an athlete, but certainly athletics was a big deal in rural West Texas, and I remember going to the boys state track meet in 1972, and Wall won it that year, won the state track meet, and also in 71, the Wall football team ended up ranked number one. There was no state championship playoff yet in that classification, so they just finished ranked number one, and that was the end of it. But so rural farming community, people, it's cotton growing community, and the people worked back in the day, including students.
Hey, did the school celebrate the athletic accomplishments more, or your academic state championship more?
The academic.
Really?
I'm sorry, I misspoke. The athletic. I misspoke. Wrong word.
Yeah.
Wrong. You got the wrong term there. But yeah, I absolutely celebrate the athletic championships more.
Did they celebrate your championships at all?
It was publicized.
It was publicized. Good. Local newspaper, Hope?
Yeah, the local newspaper. Yeah, mentioned it. The local newspaper mentioned it. Absolutely. And after 2 or 3 years, I got more attention.
Hey, so you said you were working solo, but was anybody taking you to any local tournaments? Did you all go to any local tournaments?
Okay, I did not go into any tournaments until my senior year. Working solo, I wasn't on the radar, I worked competed for the district, regional, and state, and that was it. Now, in my senior year, somehow I got wind through my principal of there being invitational tournaments. So in my senior year, I did go to some invitational number sense tournaments and had a blast with that. There was a school out in West Texas called, it still is, Andrews, Texas.
Yeah.
And at the time, Andrews was quite the powerhouse of number sets. I remember there were 3 students who competed very well in number sets. They were in a different classification above mine. But the invitational tournaments, everybody was in the same boat. And they were good. One of them openly won the state championship in their classification. I think it was at that time 3A. We competed hard against each other.
Wow, that's great. And so, how do you become a 3-time state champion? What were your study habits?
I worked the old exams. I remember there were a series of old exams that were available, and the school guy had a tag of them, and I'll just go through them, and I'd go through them over and over again. Go through this series and that series and that series, and start over again, and I would time myself with a I think it's kitchen timer clock for 10 minutes. And I had the answers, so I could check myself. And of course, after a while, I kind of anticipate what the answer were because I'd done them before. But still, it was a drill through the tricks of the problems, and after a while, and learning what I needed to know, like how far up did I need to learn my squares, how far up did I need to learn my cubes. And one thing that was a bit challenging is that some of the tests, toward the end, there would be some calculus problems. And now in Wall, I had Algebra 1, Algebra 2, then Geometry, and then my senior year I had Analytic Geometry and Trigonometry. No calculus was offered.
Oh.
So I didn't. I had to skip the calculus problem, didn't know that. But fortunately, there weren't many then. I've looked at some number sense tests since then, and they're certainly sprinkled in more with calculus. But that was my background there.
So what did your parents think of it all?
No, I just worked on my own. They were kind of surprised I won the first year.
Really?
Most people I do. But certainly they were supportive. And it didn't. I worked on things in the evening. It didn't take away from chores and farming. I worked on the weekends. So it worked out. They were fine with it.
Great. So, were you on the slide rule team also?
I tried slide rule in my senior year. I had no training. I tried to self-teaching it. That didn't work. So I tried it in the district contest my senior year with no success. So no, I would say I tried it, but I didn't have any success with it.
What did you find the most memorable from those years? Was the state meet memorable?
Okay, I like the competition at with the invitational meets. I like that. It was very competitive. One thing that was memorable is I tended to do better in district than regional, and better in regional than state in terms of how I think it's as a stress factor. But I had a 305 in my district test in my senior year, which was was my high water mark. Of course, the scoring I think has changed since then, but I almost finished that test.
Wow. So, how does it feel to be a 3-time state champion?
Well, it's mostly ancient history now. But I haven't thought much about it for a long time. I know when I got out of high school, the academics only got tougher when I got to the University of Texas. The math classes were certainly a lot more challenging, a lot more good students in the class, and I was kind of wondering if maybe I had peaked academically in high school with the fun I had with number sense, but it's been a blast. I mean, it's something that's kind of doesn't come up at all in conversation that hasn't come in conversation for years, and so I was kind of very much caught off guard when I got your email, asking me if I was the guy that had done number sense and wall back in the 70s.
Wow. So you're telling me your close friends and family, a lot of them don't know you're a 3-time state champion?
Oh, my family members know that, but it's not something we talk about. And this has been a while. There are a lot more pressing matters going on now.
Sure.
In life, but I think about it every once in a while, and I still have my plaques and my medals. And I still have a scrapbook with some of the articles from back in the day. But I'm every once in a while when we're out to dinner or something, I'll do a little math in my head, checking and some of the comment about number sense. But and number sense also kind of came up when I was helping my daughters through high school math and through calculus. And I'd recognize a squared minus b squared, that's a minus b times a plus b. Been there, done that. So that comes up again.
Where do you keep your medals?
I've been keeping them in a safe deposit box close to the house at a bank.
Oh, in a safe deposit box hidden from everybody? You need to proudly display them. Those are great talking pieces.
I hadn't thought about that, but maybe I should. I still have the plaques at the house.
Oh, great. That's special. It's special, man. To be a state champion is special. It's special. So, where did you go to college and what degree did you earn?
I went to the University of Texas in Austin. I got a bachelor's degree first in math. Wow. Then I went on and got a master's degree in math. And after that, I gave serious thought to pursuing a PhD, but went to work for a while and then ultimately pursued a law degree at the University of Texas.
Do you feel that your UIL journey helped you out at all during those college years?
Oh yeah, it certainly prepared me for challenging academics. And it also, I did get the number sense contest did lead to a scholarship that I was able to use through undergraduate school, and that obviously helped out financially. So I wouldn't have had that without the number sense success.
That's great. A scholarship is still part of the process. They can apply for scholarships if they make the state meet. So that's some great stuff. Have you ever returned to Wall High School, or is that part of the distant past?
Oh, I'll return to Wall High School. My dad still lives in Wall. I have other relatives in Wall, so I get out to Wall pretty regularly. My 50-year reunion was last May, a year ago, so I got out for that. My classmates still schedule a lunch once a month in San Angelo. I haven't made that but about once a year. That's a bit of a drive for me. if something else is going on, I'll try to make that. But so yeah, I keep up with my classmates as best I can. Facebook and some texting, and certainly I follow Wall Hawk football.
That's great. That's great. What do you value the most about your UIL journey?
Oh, I really like the competition. I think especially my senior year, I thought that really brought a lot of competitiveness, and the competing against some really good people was a lot of fun, and that I think prepared me for the academics that followed, and ultimately it's for my career. It's a competitive world nowadays.
Absolutely.
You got to get used to that.
Do you remember any of the competitors' names?
There was an Angela at Andrews. I think there's a Mark and a John. I remember the first name. Those were the three good ones at Andrews. There was a guy I competed against in my first year when I was a sophomore. He was from Starting City. I think his name was Clark Kilpatrick. The history there is that I didn't notice at the time, but he had been third the previous year in number sense, and then I came and beat him at district. So that was and then we ended up being first and second in district, first and second in regional, and first and second at state.
Wow, great competition.
So,
what advice do you have for today's youth that may come across this interview?
Okay. My advice would be to embrace life's challenges, whatever they are, and they're just going to make you stronger. Just tough it out.
That's a great Central West Texas mindset. You know what I'm saying? Embrace life's challenges. Great. What does the future have in store for you, Mr. Russell Gully, the 1971, 1972, and 73 UIL number sense state champion?
Okay, I anticipate enjoying retirement with my family over the next however many years, and then doing some travel. Nothing terribly ambitious, but getting out to see things a little bit more than I have been. So that's kind of what's on the agenda. Some more home improvement projects was on the agenda. Just take it easy and enjoy life and be involved with my church men's group.
Great stuff. Any parting words or final thoughts as we conclude this interview?
Yeah, I want to give a shout out to Wall School. Go Wall Hawks. And to all the teachers I had, those teachers, looking back, they were a hardworking, dedicated bunch. And with my class, they went through a lot.
That's a great shout out. Once a Hawk, always a Hawk.
Absolutely.
Oh, that's great. I love it. Mr. Russell Gully, I can't thank you enough. You've been very generous with your time, and thank you for sharing your wonderful story with us. I really appreciate it. I'm in Houston. I want you to know if you're ever in this part of the woods, you got a friend in Houston.
Glad to do it.
Awesome. Mr. Russell Gully, thank you very much. I appreciate it, and farewell, friend. Farewell.
Bye.
Wow, what a fascinating discussion with the three-time state champion, Mr. Russell Gully of 1971, 1972, 1973, Texas UIL state champion from Wall High School, a proud Hawk. Thank you very much, Mr. Russell Gully, for sharing your story. It's very inspiring. Thank you. Let me take a quick moment and ask that if you enjoy this content, that you please hit the subscription button and the notification bell, that you leave a comment below, and that you smash that like button. It helps me out with the YouTube algorithm. Help me spread this joy. Help me spread this beauty to as many people as possible. I got plenty of wonderful things in store for this channel, and I truly appreciate your support. My name is Logan Johnson, and this is Texas Math Mundo. Farewell. Farewell.